until sample, correct? Sample is just a small, instead of getting the entire population for you to observe and for your research, it's oftentimes best to just get a sample of it, a small portion of it that will now represent whole. Okay. An example for this were trying to study the behavior of elephants. And for you to get the information that you need to for this, do you need to observe all the elephants in the world? Is there a need for you to observe all the elephants in the world in order for you to know the behavior of an elephant? No, right?
No,
Maybe
teacher.
you will observe around 50 different elephants. Yeah, observe 50 different elephants once, and then you can conclude that since this is an elephant, okay, this species over here is an elephant, and then there are other species of elephants around the world. So the behavior of this small size over here is comparable to the behavior of the entire thing. Understand? So that is now the use of a sample. Okay, so let's continue. Mm, okay, the last one is what we call a variable. Variable in statistics is, in a sense, the same when we are talking about or the use of it in algebra. Variable is something that can affect the outcome. These are now the characteristics or features. Okay, a variable is these are now features of uh, of what we are observing that can affect the results of the observation to a certain degree. Okay, so I mentioned this morning that, for example, you want to determine the favorite snack of students. Okay, favorite snacks of students. What is now your target population? Okay, favorite snacks. Okay, favorite snacks of students. What is your target population?
Students in a specific school.
Okay, you are now going to take your students. Now, but when you are just going to mention it like this, favorite snack of students, that means now that there's no limit to this question or to this goal. Because when you say students, this is in general. It can be students in United States, students in Indonesia, students in Philippines, or even students in Mondial, students in Esman 1, Esman 2. You get the idea? So this particular goal of us, of ours here is a bit too wide in the scope. Okay, we can limit it down. We can limit it down and say that favorite snacks of students in Mondial. At least this is now going to be limited to students in Mondial only. Okay, so our population is going to be students. After that, what are we going to oh, sorry. Since our population is students, what we're trying to observe is now their favorite snacks. Okay, so the question now here is your variable. There are different characteristics of features of students that can affect our goal of determining your favorite snack. What do you think are these variables that can affect? One I can think of is gender. Okay, males and females. Males can have a different taste compared to females, female students, right? Oh, what else?
Uh,
What
age,
else do
teacher.
you think do we need to consider? Huh?
Age.
Age. Very good. So some variables that you need to consider. If this is, for example, in it can be blood type. If maybe in our community, maybe marital status, maybe they are single or married, right? Who knows? So these are now types of variables. So when you are trying to find for an answer to a certain problem, you need to be open to different variables as well. So age, gender, right? Status, blood type, can be nationality, nationality. So that is now your variable. Okay. So what we have there is data, population, sample, and variable. Okay, we will, these are the most basic terms that you will be encountering. Okay, but at least you know what they are. Okay, next. Okay, so let's start. Let's start now to a more deeper topic. Okay, so I can actually subdivide statistics into three parts. Number one is we have here your data collection. Okay, so data collection. We said that data is now a form of information, right? So if we have information floating around us, okay, so we need to have different methods in order for us to collect this data, okay? So for when that's now what we call your data collection. Data collection is the methodical process of gathering specific information generate solutions to relevant questions. Okay, that is now data gathering or data collection. Now, when you are now going to collect data, you should use what you call your okay. Before we go to data collected for research, okay, for research purposes must be subjected to hypothesis testing. Okay, so that means now that once you collect a data, depending on your purpose of collecting data, you need to process it a bit. So the data collected, especially for research, must be subjected to some testing. We call it hypothesis testing that seeks to a phenomenon or something that is now happening, okay, in our everyday lives. Okay, so this is very important. Why? What is the importance of this one? The importance is it is proves the integrity of the research. That means now that whatever you are saying is credible. It's not a guess or it's not based on your feelings that are now that will now support. Okay. So if you say, for example, that the earth is flat, because there's a lot of flat earthers out there. If you say that, if your claim that the earth is flat, then claim is just rubbish or it's not very acceptable if you are not going to present what's it? If you're not going to present evidences that is now going to be backing up your claim. Okay, so you need to prove your statements. Okay, so that is now down to proper data gathering. Okay, number two, aside from provides integrity to the research, it reduces errors. Reduce errors. Right now, there are projects aiming to go back to the moon, okay, to send a second lunar landing, okay? But to do that, you need to reduce errors to make sure that the people, the astronauts, are now going to arrive at their destination safely, okay? So you need to do proper data gathering there. Next, supports for decision making. Okay. Next, it will also save cost and time, since you are going to be reducing errors. You will be saving money and time in searching for your uh, answers. Okay. It is also a basis for new ideas. It's a basis for new ideas and innovations. Okay. So basically, if all of this is now pointing to what you call your hypothesis testing, it now eliminates biases. Okay, this is very important. Proper data collection and processing, okay, eliminates biases and assumptions and draws out a conclusion on the basis of reason. Okay, there is now a reason why people is going to believe on your statements because you have properly backed it with data, credible data. Okay, you understand this? You get the importance of it?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Teacher.
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever wondered why you your reasons when your parents are asking you, why did you fail or why do you have low grades? Okay. Why is it that sometimes your parents don't believe you when you give your reasons? Saying like, because the teacher is like this, because the teacher is like that, because the subject is so hard. Hmm? You you have experienced it before, right? You were scolded or you heard sermons when you give reasons like that. Okay? The reason behind it, why your parents don't believe you, is when you give out your reasons, you do not have proper backing information to support your reason. That's it. You have enough reasons to support, okay? If you have a basis to support your reasons, then there's nothing that your parents can do. Okay, something like that. Hmm. Okay, what else? Do we still have time? Okay, so I will end it here. By next meeting, since we know how to collect data and we know that data, proper data is very important. Our next topic, you remind me next meeting is we need to start with data collection tools.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so this is where we start next meeting. So that's it. Goodbye, everyone.